If you're planning to list your home in Massachusetts this spring, it can feel like there's a mountain of paperwork and preparation involved. I'm here to share 6 essential steps that can help you tackle the mountain with a lot less stress and a much better chance for a smooth sale. Each of these steps plays a unique role in getting your home ready for market and putting you in a strong position from the very start. Number 1. Visit your local town hall and double check that there are no open building permits lingering in your property's file. It's surprisingly common for homeowners to finish a renovation or a small upgrade, maybe adding a bathroom or installing a deck, and forget that the final sign-off from the building inspector is necessary. Even if you didn't handle the work yourself, you might have purchased the home with unresolved permits. Some folks discover during their sale that there's an old permit for a finished basement or a fence that never got closed out. That can lead to headaches, extra fees, or rushed inspections at the worst possible time. While you're at the town hall, it's also wise to talk to conservation if your property is near wetlands or if there were any previous order or conditions tied to your land. An open order of conditions could stall your sale or raise questions about whether you've been compliant and require additional work by an engineer, including a plan. By handling these checks early, you clear away potential obstacles before the buyer even steps in the door. Number 2, plan for closing costs and talk to a tax advisor about potential capital gains. In Massachusetts, you'll typically face certain fees such as attorney's costs, title work, and a transfer tax that's always calculated based on the sale price. These fees can add up quickly, so it's smart to estimate the total figure before you list rather than scrambling to cover them later. On top of that, speaking to a qualified tax professional to see if you qualify for any exclusions on capital gains, especially if it's your primary residence, is a good idea. Rules about short-term versus long-term ownership and state-level taxes can change how much you'll owe, so it's always better to have a clear picture of the numbers in advance. This way, you won't have any unpleasant surprises when you're already knee-deep in negotiations. Consider setting up a pre-listing inspection. That's number 3. Some sellers skip this because they assume it's an unnecessary expense or they hope buyers won't notice minor issues. But surprises uncovered by the buyer's inspector can derail the deal at the 11th hour or lead to a dramatic price reduction. A pre-listing inspection lets you know exactly where you stand. You can choose to fix any bigger problems in advance or at least disclose them up front. Buyers tend to feel more confident when they see a recent inspection done by a professional that they can verify. You don't even have to share it. Just knowing what information is in the report gives you an idea what you should fix or be prepared to negotiate if something comes back from the buyer's report. That sense of trust, if you do decide to disclose, which I'm not sure I would recommend, can stand out in a competitive market and lead to firmer offers with fewer contingencies. It also shows that you're proactive, which goes a long way in real estate. Number 4, it's essential to map out your overall budget for the entire selling process. This goes beyond just closing costs and potential tax obligations. Think about the cost of staging if you plan to hire a professional stager, or if you need a fresh coat of paint, or some landscaping work done to maximize your curb appeal. Factor in any repairs you discovered from that pre-listing inspection. And don't forget to include the cost of moving, whether you'll be hiring a mover, renting a truck, or even needing temporary storage. It's easy to underestimate these expenses, so having a clear financial plan early on will help you price your home effectively and keep stress levels down. It also helps you look ahead to your next property or living situation without feeling pinched. Number 5, if your timeline for moving into your next home is uncertain, or if you simply need a grace period, think about using an occupancy agreement. This arrangement lets you stay in the property for a short time after the sale closes. It can be a real lifesaver if your next purchase is still pending, or if you're waiting on some renovations to finish before you move out, or any other situation. You should know, though, that there may be insurance or liability concerns to consider, since ownership has already transferred to the buyer. Some agreements include daily fees or other terms that resemble a short-term rental. Being clear on all these points in writing helps both parties avoid misunderstandings or disputes in the future. Number 6. If your home has solar panels under a lease, start looking into the transfer process right away. Solar panel leases can come with various contractual obligations and credit checks for the buyer. Some buyers get thrown off if they only learn about these requirements late in the game. Others might love the idea of solar, but still want plenty of time to review the contract and monthly payments. This can take weeks or even months to sort out, depending on the solar company's policies and paperwork. Handling it early saves you from scrambling at the last second and ensures that the closing stays on schedule. It also gives you time to discuss other options, like buying the lease if that's a possibility, which might make the property more attractive to certain buyers. By taking these 6 steps, visiting your town hall, planning for closing costs and capital gains, scheduling a pre-listing inspection, figuring out your comprehensive budget, considering a use and occupancy agreement, and sorting out solar leases, you'll be in a much stronger position to have a smooth and successful sale. Preparing well in advance can help you avoid deal-breaking surprises and set clear expectations for both you and your buyer. Listing your home can be an exciting transition, and putting this extra effort up front translates to better offers and less stress all around. Thanks for watching. If this content helped you out, be sure to like and subscribe. I post more tips on real estate and other legal matters all the time, so let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. See you soon.